There you go.
Your head first.
Yeah, I was playing on the Day of the Tentacle when it was like that.
Dear Esther, the morning after I was washed ashore, salt in my ears, sand in my mouth, and the waves always at my ankles, I felt as though everything had conspired to this one last shipwreck. I remembered nothing but water, stones in my belly and my shoes, threatening to drag me under to where only the most listless of creatures swim.
Ooh, okay. Yep. Oh look, pink. A book. Yeah. Ew. Ew. I well can see that right in there. Can you, dude? You can tell that's blood. What? Oh, what?
So ridiculous.
I know. Man, let's come out of this place. Hey, can you open that? No, it's boarded up. Yeah, that was right in my ear. Oh, there's the water cooler. Is your water cooler fine, dude? Well, it's broken. I'm joking. It does though,
It's pink or something.
Oh, yeah. Should I go up there or I'll go down this way? Got a bad feeling that I have to go upwards, not this way. You can't run. That's why I zoom in like that. Listen to some buttons. That water looks realistic, don't it? That's supposed to be... Oh yeah, it's grass in it. Weeds, tumbleweeds or something. Yep. Yeah, I did have to go up. Okay.
When you were born, your mother told me, a hush fell over the delivery room. A great red birthmark covered the left side of your
I know.
face. No one knew what to say, so you cried to fill the...
Captions, closed captions, enlarge.
vacuum. I always admired you for that you cried to fill whatever
They're
vacuum
not
you
on
found.
my TV.
I began...
Crosshair. Oh, that's... Can't you have subtitles on this? It's weird.
manufacture vacuums just to enable you to deploy your talent. The birthmark faded by the time you were 6 and had gone completely by the time we met, but your fascination with the empty and its cure remained.
God damn it, that sucks that you can't hear this guy, dude.
Messing around with speakers. Just go to
Yeah, I know, dude, it's on. I wanna say I messed around with that. I put it on that, dude, on that speaker. See if it works in a minute. When he talks again.
Dear
Okay.
Esther,
There you go.
I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system,
That looks like
where
a
Donna's
face.
boots and yours and mine still
A
travel.
little bit.
I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
Okay. You don't go this way. You go upwards. Don't crap, I'm stuck. I'm sandwich, dude. With red sauce. Nah, no mayonnaise, dude. No. I like. I don't know if we've got any or not. You have to have a look later. Yep. Look at the wind blowing the trees, grass. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, definitely. Man, it would be creepy if it was actually in this game, wouldn't it? You'd pop out of the middle of nowhere.
Donnelly's book had not been taken out from the library since 1974. I decided it would never be missed as I slipped it under my coat and avoided the librarian's gaze on the way out. If the subject matter is obscure, the writer's literary style is even more so. It is not the text of a stable or trustworthy reporter. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man.
There's that tower.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this. To keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Spooky. That graveyard down there. Can we go over here? Yeah, it's like... Ah, true. Looks that awesome.
We are not like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting
I'm
the
looking
cliffs
back.
with his
There's nothing
arms.
there.
No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
He just won't have to quit, dude. He does that. It's strange. Wait, what?
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Hey, I won't talk on those parts, dude. I don't know what, it's a lighthouse. I was trying to think what it was at first. There's the cave that you were talking about.
I would leave you presents outside your retreat, in this interim space between cliff and beach. I would leave you loaves and fishes, but the fish stocks have been depleted and I've run out of bread. I would row you back to your homeland in a bottomless boat, but I fear we would both be driven mad by the chatter of the sea creatures.
Okay. That's kind of weird. There's that thing again. That's a tree. You can tell that's like a tree, can't you, dude? Because that's the bottom and they're like twigs. Chirp seagull. Hey, wait. Did I go in a circle? I'm confused. I can't.
I've become convinced I am not alone here, even though I'm equally sure it is simply a delusion brought upon by circumstance. I do not, for instance, remember where I found the candles, or why I took it upon myself to light such a strange pathway. Perhaps it is only for those who are bound to follow.
The music sounds alright. I a little bit at the Stones. The Bible. This dead end. No. No. It's loading.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the Welcome Brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore. I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk. There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
An imagined answer phone message. The tires are flat, the wheel spins loosely, and the brake fluid has run like ink over this map, staining the landmarks and rendering the coastline mute, compromised. Where you saw galaxies, I saw only bruises cut into the cliff by my lack of sobriety.
Oh, mister, stop talking in riddles. I thought I saw someone running. I must be hallucinating.
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss? How many dead shepherds could fill this hole? Come back.
That trophy photo, wasn't it?
I've begun to climb, away from the sea and towards the center. It is a straight line to the summit, where the evening begins to coil around the aerial and squeeze the signals into early silence. The bothy squats against the mount to avoid the gaze of the aerial. I too will creep under the island like an animal and approach it from the northern shore. The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jacobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either. Inventory. A trestle table we spread wallpaper on in our first home. A folding chair. I laughed at you for bringing camping in the lakes. I was uncomfortable later and you laughed then. This diary, the bed with the broken springs. Once asleep you have to remember not to dream. A change of clothes. Donnelly's book, stolen from Edinburgh Library on the way here. I will burn them all on the last morning and make an aerial of my own.
What?
He left his body to the medical school and was duly opened out for a crowd of students 21 days after his passing. The report is included in my edition of his book. The syphilis had torn through his guts like a drunk driver, scrambling his organs like eggs on a plate. But enough definition remained for a cursory examination, and, as I suspected, they found clear evidence of kidney stones. He's likely to have spent the last years of his life in considerable pain. Perhaps this is the root of his laudanum habit. Although its use makes him an unreliable witness, I find myself increasingly drawn into his orbit.
Hello, man. Oh. That was a weird sound. I know, dude, you fell asleep. Ah! I got that on video, dude, the first parts. Yeah, a trophy. Hello? I can't see. Blind.
From here, this last time, I have understood there is no turning back. The torch is failing along with my resolve. I can hear the singing of the sea creatures from the passages above me, and they are promising the return of the gulls.
Ooh. Huh? What?